Dang it, I thought I had I put my do not disturb on and still the phone call got interrupted. Sorry guys, I gotta figure that out. And you want the stock market to go back up and you want to get people back out to work because the people want to work. Well, of course we want to work because we got to pay bills to pay. But it's like they don't have a conscious understanding of the people that they're governing. When I see the other representative in Congress who wanted to stop the whole stimulus package for some type of count, and because he was upset, not thinking about all the people who just lost their jobs, or the jobs aren't there because they can't get, because the businesses is not open, and the businesses who can't open because of everything that's going on. I'm just like, how could you say you don't want the stimulus package to go through, even though those of us who have watched and listened know that the businesses, the big businesses, are going to get a better deal than anybody else out of that stimulus package, because they're going to get to write off crap and get bailed out yet again, and they probably will go back and buy their stocks like they did the last time. But they tie it all together because they knew that the ones who did care would go ahead and sign a bill, even though they know part of it was really crappy and is going to benefit the ones who have money and have the big businesses, but they still were trying to help the people at the bottom. So I'm like, how can you stand there and knowing that this check can help feed some children or keep somebody in a home, or take care of a person that needs to buy medication, things of that nature, and you're sitting here arguing with them in Congress? I'm just like, there's such a total disconnect from the head to the feet. And so it made me start thinking about privilege and what people are privileged to, how you act with the fact that you're privileged, and what do we do? Because in any society, there are different levels. You got to have the haves and the have-nots. It always is going to be. Some countries have the tier thing, If you're born in this tier, you're always going to be in this tier. You can't go to the next level. Whereas in the United States, you're supposedly able to, even if you're born in poverty, you can rise to making, to the wealth. Some people do, majority don't. To be honest, majority don't. I find it interesting that now a lot of us are going to be able to see what it's like in the other person's shoes. My sister has MS and a lot of autoimmune diseases, and so once that was finally diagnosed, I'm trying to say, gosh, when was she diagnosed? It was some years ago. I know over 7, maybe 8, 9. She's unable to work. So the majority of the time, she's at home in her house. So, I was talking about me being at home and all this stuff like that. And she's like, well, I would like to feel sympathy for you and some of my other friends. She's like, but this is my world all the time. Welcome to my world. And I had to think about that because, she doesn't go out because she's in pain or she's sick, or, being out in the sun with some of the medication and just a whole host of things. And so for those people who are shut-ins because of illnesses, or for whatever reason, because you're too old or you can't get around by yourself anymore, all that, they're looking at us saying, well, welcome to my world, because you've had the privilege of being able to go outside your home and do different things and go on trips and all this stuff like that. Welcome to my world of being home all the time. So it made me start thinking about maybe, just maybe, after this, we would come out of this not being so selfish, greedy, malicious, manipulative, self-centered bunch of people that live in the United States. Because now we can have an appreciation and an empathy and some compassion for a person who's a shut-in. For those who have lost if they had a lot of their money in the stock market and they lost everything and maybe don't have the money now to rebuild in that, and it's really damaged their finances. Well, welcome to the people who now you're in their bracket when it comes to finances. And if it gets worse, the last time we had a crash, they actually had people literally, and Trump was right on this, killing themselves behind it. But it wasn't us everyday people. It was those people that were very privileged, and they couldn't deal with the fact that that privilege was no longer there. For those people who have jobs and now you don't have jobs, and you might have looked at the other person or your neighbor or your family member, it was like, why don't you work? You ain't got no job. And maybe they were trying to get a job. Maybe they have a record and they couldn't get a job. And so, it's not that they didn't want to work and they were lazy. Nobody would just hire them. Maybe they didn't have enough skills to make the money that they needed. Hey, welcome to that world. Now you're with that person who don't have a job, and now you know what it's like to go and get unemployment, food stamps. Oh, that's a special treat if you have to go and get assistance from the government during this time and you never have. It'll make you have an appreciation for all the people who have to be on the system and may not necessarily want to, but because of choices and things that happen, they are. Yes, we're now being able to swap shoes. It's always like walk a mile in another man's shoes. Well, some of us are going to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. We're going to walk a mile in a place, in a space, and in time that we've never been in. A person that might have had their home for years but can't make the bills, and so they end up losing their home because the mortgage company, after all this is over, do you think that these people who've been holding off on you not being able to pay rent or mortgage or insurance and all these things like that? I got my fan on. I could just turn it on me. Crazy me. You think that they're going to stop and say, okay, Corona's over, unless they put a law in place like they did about not kicking people out and stuff? And I guarantee there's still going to be landlords that put people on the street. Because I'm reading that there's still companies who are cutting people electric off, and supposedly the government said don't cut anybody's lights out, don't cut the electric off because of everything that's going on. And yet there are companies still doing that. I was looking in Florida, Whole County, where the mayor just cut all these people electric off last week. Didn't have to. There was a mandate saying don't, but she did. She let them do it. So, it really made me think about, I'm experiencing some things that's making me uncomfortable, but there's a whole lot of other people. And I hope that we can grasp just a glimmer, just a small something that will make us be better when we get out of this. Because I notice now that I'm being able to see those things that I thought might have been burnt off, or that I thought that I didn't have anymore because I'm older and more mature. But stress, pressure, stress, you'll get to see the real you. We can mask a lot of things when things are good. Oh, we're good at that. We're good at putting on the different faces for job, home, school, in-laws here, family over here, children there, husband, wife. But when you start getting pressed and squeezed and pushed and you get in that tight space, oh, you'll get to see the real you. So, I guess I've ran it long enough, and I'm going to go get the rest of my smoothie. I am getting pretty good at making these things. This was just the little bit I had left out of my bullet. I'm going to get my big cup. And I guess I'll check and see what's going on in the world this Sunday morning. Guys, you know what? Let me say this. I never thought that I would be doing this, and I didn't really think about it till, like I said, recently, but I'm actually kind of enjoying this because it gives me a way, an outlet. I'm a talker. I love to talk. I thought maybe I would have an issue with talking kind of like just to myself, but I don't. And for those of you who have tuned in and actually listened to me, thank you. I am so honored that you took your time and spent your time to do it. So that's why I'm trying to keep them short, because I can go on a tangent. So I thank you. I appreciate it. Mwah. And please tell your friends to check me out. Have them subscribe. Ring the bell so you can get a notice. I would love for this platform to get bigger so I can have more people's ideals, and it would be neat if, I can get to the point where you can chime in and we all, how they have the different screens and all the different people talking, and have just, a big conversation about the things that come in your mind, because I'm always thinking of things. Always. I have something going on in my head all the time that I may want to talk about, and I know I'm not the only one. I know there's other people who want to talk about things. So hopefully my conversation is one that will make you think and make you look within yourself. And so, yeah, how about today will be that Sunday, let's call it Sunday searching, Sunday seeking. Let's seek what's in us that we no longer need and is not very useful and it's a negative, and that we might have seen it raise its ugly head since all of this has happened in the midst of stress. And while you're doing that, I'm going to try not to kill anybody while the Rona's here. I can't promise, so if you see me and I'm getting ching locked up, can y'all do me a GoFundMe page? Love you.